Hello and welcome to the second part of my Warlord guide. Today we are going to cover the builds that are needed for every PVE content as a Warlord, which contains farming, bosses and AFK content. Normally, I would have separated bosses and farming between two completely different gear builds, and tell you to choose between Cyclone and Shield Toss builds, but instead I would highly suggest you the Cyclone build for farming and against bosses, with some changes in the skills section. Even though Shield Toss build would have higher damage than Cyclone against single targets, hence bosses, I don't think you need or should build a new set meant specifically for that purpose. In case you do use a projectile set with your PvP set, you can use that set for bosses as well. If you are not sure how to build a PvP set, check out my Warlord PvP guide in the description. For basic farming, you'll need only 3 skills. Purple Spin Leap Strike for attack speed and movement speed, Purple Cyclone, which is a very high PVE damage skill in a large area, and lastly Green Thought, which would provide extra damage and heal 25% of your HP on every kill. Any other skill would be an okay addition, but not a must-have. For example, you can use Purple Strike and Purple Rush Strike for additional movement in the area. For bosses, you'll need the same skills as you have in your farming build with the addition of debuffs, a buff and shield block. Purple Shield Strike for 30% increased damage taken debuff, Purple Breakthrough and Blue Earth Frenzy providing a physical defense reduction debuff when hit. Your physical damage dealer teammates will love you for these debuffs. Any type of normal shield block to protect yourself against hard hitting hits or a CC by boss. And lastly, Purple Holy Shield, which should be placed on your teammates for extra attack speed and damage. If you or your teammates find yourself struggling to stay alive against bosses, there are 3 skills you may use to help you and your team stay alive. Blue Taunt for a 30% reduced damage on bosses, Purple Shred for pretty much a never-ending HP recovery to yourself, and Blue Shield Dash for an instant heal to yourself. For gear, I would suggest to build your Warlord with a 4-part Sharp Sensor set, BT Shield, and other 2 parts should be anything that you want. Keep in mind that in the future we won't have PvP gear available, only the regular PvE set equipment. So I would suggest to pick the last 2 as PvP gear, and with this you will be able to exchange it to any of the new sets that are gonna be available. Now let's talk about random effects. For weapons, get cooldown reduction, max attack and physical attack. For chested pads, get swing power and natural energy recovery. The third you can have rear strike power for additional rear strike damage, or crit resistance if you want to survive better in case you get attacked by a player while farming. I would suggest going for the rear strike. For gloves, get max attack, swing crit rate and swing critical damage. For helmet, get crit damage, swing crit rate and swing critical damage. And for boots, get swing crit rate, crit damage and movement speed. Movement speed is important since most of the time you will be spinning around the map, so covering as much area as possible with Cyclone is very helpful in farming. If you ask yourself why not stamina recovery, we'll cover that later in the video. Do not worry, you will not run out of stamina while sprinting with Cyclone. For accessories, Night Rings and Twisted Earrings would be the best, as you get extra versatility and additional 40% boss damage from Night Rings. Also, they are a great choice for PvP content. For the Transcendent Stones, Purple Tier 4 should be the first Transcendent Stone you want to get for better energy management. The rest do not make much of a difference in PvE content. For runes, the first thing to aim for is 33 yellow for 9 rune attributes on each of the other colors. Afterwards, get at least 12 on the others. On purple, it is very important to pick up King Kong and Winning Move. With this and the additional movement speed from Boots and Spin Leap Strike, you get their fastest regular movement speed in the game, which will let you farm with Cyclone very efficiently. Then get 21 purple for the attribute Arrogance, which will grant you a 2% damage increase every 5 seconds while in combat, up to 10 stacks. You will lose stacks every time you get hit. And afterwards put all your runes into red and aim for 88 attribute Fallen King's Return. This skill provides a 4% damage and attack speed each stack, which you can increase by killing mobs, and up to 5 stacks. For mana, you need to pick up anything that provides you with an offensive bonuses while farming. The important ones are Precise for increased accuracy and the ability to farm at higher rewarding place, Blade Strike for additional crit damage and swing, Masterful Strike for a free physical damage increase, Courage Aura for more damage against bosses, Magic Aggregation for extra energy recovery, Sweeping Through for extra damage on swing skill in a big area, Exaltation, which is a very important one, allows you to recover stamina with every kill. With this, you don't need to worry about stamina recovery on boots. With the rest of the points, you can pick up other imprints which will benefit you towards more damage, but they are not a must. For AFK content, I would suggest to use only 3 skills: your necklace skill, shield toss, and green taunt. That type of setup will be good enough as long as you have 88 red for the additional attack speed. If you have a PvP projector set, it should be plenty to deal with the AFK content. If you don't have 88 red yet, it will be better to have Spin Leap Strike purple attribute for the missing attack speed until you have 88 red. Unfortunately for now, Cyclone in AFK content is not working properly, so I hope we'll be able to use it when it gets fixed. That's it for the PVE Warlord build and the end of my overall Warlord guide. If you still haven't watched the PvP guide, don't forget to check it out. Please like and subscribe for more content. See you next time!